And frankly, it's quite frustrating when you lose weight, you stop a diet, and then you gain all the weight back. You feel like, why did I even go through all of that? All right, you clicked on this video because you want to know what kind of diet you should be on in order to lose weight. You've heard other people say, well, you should try keto because that really worked for me. You should try intermittent fasting because that worked for me. Or abs are only made in the kitchen. And you're just tired of hearing all of it, and you want to know what you actually need to do in order to lose weight. Well, in this video, I am going to use a research-based approach to tell you what kind of diet you should be on, especially as a woman over the age of 40. Not only did I completely change my own body after the age of 40, I have helped other women my age and older achieve their health and weight loss goals using science-backed information on what you should be doing. As a health coach and nurse practitioner, I believe that we need to use the tools that we have that are science-based and research to give people accurate information so that they can get the best results for their health. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the science jargon and all those different things, but I do want to give you the right information so that you know how to do your diet and the kind of foods that you should be eating in order to lose weight. Now, I will tell you, in my 20s, I have tried many of diets. I've tried keto diet, and keto diet does work for people who are in their 20s. Why? Because you can quickly implement the diet, you can lose the weight, and then even once you come off the diet, you gain the weight back, you can quickly take it off because age is working for you. Well, I'm here to tell you that once you hit 40, you can no longer do these yo-yo crash diets because it doesn't work the same. And frankly, it's quite frustrating when you lose weight, you stop a diet, and then you gain all the weight back. You feel like, why did I even go through all of that to lose the weight only to gain it back? And it kind of puts you in a state of mind where you just don't even want to try anymore. Well, I'm here to give you some encouragement that it is possible to lose weight once you hit the age of 40 and beyond. Before I tell you what kind of diet you should take, I am going to tell you some diets that you should avoid. And if you stay with me to the end, I'm going to give you the tools that I use in my program to help women lose weight, not only while they're in my program, but even once they graduate from my program and move on, they're able to implement this diet for the long term and be successful with their weight loss and hit their weight loss goals. So the first diet that I'm going to tell you about is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is not the way to go, especially once you hit the age of 40. Most intermittent fasting diets will have you fasting for a window of 16 hours. That means you only have 8 hours to eat your recommended amount of meals in one day. 8 hours is a pretty short window. In 8 hours time, I don't know how often you get hungry, but I can tell you 8 hours would not work for me because I just would not be able to get in all of my protein that I need. The whole premise behind the intermittent fasting diet is that your body uses the fat stores as fuel and you burn through that fat, and that helps you lose weight. However, when they looked at women who did these kind of diets, it actually wasn't good for them. It caused more stress than it caused benefits. When you intermittent fast, hormones are all out of whack, and that includes your metabolism. So when you try to intermittent fast or cut the amount of time that you're eating in a day, your metabolism slows all the way down. Not only will your metabolism slow down, but you'll have less energy. If you have less energy, you're not going to be as inclined to work out, which is actually what you need to do in order to successfully lose fat and build muscle. Even if you try to work out when you have less energy, you're probably not going to get a good workout in because you don't have the energy to push yourself through the workout. Some of the other reasons why I am not in support of intermittent fasting and the research on women that are 40 plus is the window of time that you get to eat is so short that you can't get in enough meals. So if you've been following me, you know that I'm always going to tell you you should be getting 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. If you try to get in, let's say you're trying to be 150, 160 pounds, how successful will you be at getting 150 to 160 grams of protein in an 8-hour window? Protein is very filling. So if I'm eating a meal that has that much protein, I'm not going to be hungry for several hours. Now you only have 8 hours to try to cram in that amount of protein. Not only is your body not going to be able to digest that, but you're probably not going to be able to hit your protein goals. You're also not going to be able to drink a ton of water and during that time to hydrate yourself. So it's just a lot of reasons why trying to cram all your nutrition in an 8-hour window is not very sustainable, and it's not something that you're going to be able to do very successfully in most instances. Now, if you are someone who intermittent fasts or someone that is intermittent fasting, you also got to think about your workout schedule. If you are fasting for much longer after you finish your workout, meaning that you're still in your fasting window for 2-3 hours after you work out, you are going to do more damage to your muscle. You're actually going to start breaking muscle down, which is another reason why intermittent fasting doesn't work. Like, you think that it's going to tap into your fat stores to help you lose the fat. Well, what's going to happen is you are going to deplete your muscles because your body is essentially starving. It's really starving after a workout. So it's going to start eating away at those muscles, and you are not going to build lean muscle mass. In fact, you're not only going to lose the fat, you're going to lose muscle mass as a result of it, and that's not going to help you, especially as you age and get older. For someone who's trying to work out so that you can lose weight, meaning you're trying to lose fat and gain muscle, you don't want to do anything that's going to cause you to lose muscle, because that's not going to help you hit your weight loss goals. All right, well, you might be thinking, well, since intermittent fasting is not the way to go, maybe I'll just try a keto diet. Well, there's a lot of things wrong with the keto diet as well. Number one, let's talk about what the keto diet is. The whole idea behind the keto diet is that more than half of your intake is coming from high fat sources. And I'm saying more than half. Sometimes it's up to like 80 to 90% of what you're eating is coming from high fat sources. There's some protein in there, and then there's very little carbohydrate in there. I'm talking less than 50 grams, which, if you want to know what that is, that's equivalent to maybe a small apple a day. That's how many carbs you're having with the keto diet. And the idea is that if you deplete, or if you get rid of all of your carb sources, then your body is going to start to use fat as fuel. Well, the problem with that is that sometimes it's hard to even get into a ketotic state because you don't really know where you are as far as having enough fat on board to do that. That's like number one. And sorry, that's very sciencey, and I said I wasn't going to get super sciencey on you. Okay. So when I say this diet pushes 50 to 80% of your daily intake from fat sources, this is not the lean fat that you need. This is fat from bacon or other pork sources, fatty beef, very like high fat sources of food is what you're taking in with this kind of a diet. I mentioned also that you're on a very, very low carb diet when you're on a keto diet, but your body, your brain, it needs carbs in order to function properly. Not only do you eat a low amount of carbs on this diet, which can, not be very beneficial to you, but also you'll be deficient in a lot of nutrients. You're not eating a ton of fruits and vegetables on this diet because most of your fruits and vegetables are going to give you a lot of carbs. And with this diet, you are very restricted on the kind of vegetables that you get to eat. You really can't have any fruits with this diet, let alone any really high fiber sources. So many times people that try to do a keto diet, they end up very constipated. Sometimes they have other nutrient deficiencies because they really just don't have a variety of food in their diet. Now, the high fat content of this meal plan, also it can cause you inflammation, bloating, and it can also be very dangerous for women that are above the age of 40 because as you begin to get older, you're 40, you're perimenopausal, your estrogen levels are low. Your estrogen is usually cardioprotective. However, when you're on a diet with so much fat, you're at risk for high cholesterol, high LDL level, which is the bad level of cholesterol. Now you compound that with the fact that you don't have as much estrogen on board with the cardiovascular protective, you make your cardiovascular disease risk even higher by trying to go on something like a keto diet. If you're a woman that's working out, you need carbs for fuel. With the keto diet, you can't take in many carbs. So that's going to leave you feeling depleted most of the day, and you're not going to have a very good workout if you don't have any carbs for fueling your workout. So both of these diets are really not good choices for you. Both of these diets can cause a significant amount of stress on your body. And when you're under stress, your hormones are all out of whack, including cortisol. Cortisol is going to make you gain weight, which is the exact opposite of what you are aiming for when you're trying to go on these diets. So now that you've learned about the two most trendy, popular diets that are out there that people are talking about, I'm going to tell you what you actually should be doing in order to lose weight. I'm going to give you the tools that I use in my program where I help women that are 40 plus lose weight and keep the weight off. If you are a woman that's 40 plus and you're ready to get started on a program that's not only going to tell you what to eat, it's going to give you an exercise plan, and it's also going to give you community so that you can be successful in your weight loss, click the link in my bio and fill out the application for the BossBaddies FitCamp, because I would love to help you get moving towards hitting your goal. Now let's talk about what you should be eating. The first thing that I always recommend when you're trying to lose weight as a woman that's 40 plus, you need to make sure that you're getting in enough protein. If you've been watching and following me for a while, you know that I'm always going to tell you, you should be getting 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. Many women are not hitting their protein goals because they just don't really think about what they need to do. But as a woman, you're getting older, you need protein now more than ever, probably more than someone who's much younger than you, especially if you're trying to lose weight, but you also want to preserve lean muscle mass. Once you start working out, you're definitely going to need to have enough protein to support healthy muscle growth, but also to reduce the amount of muscle that you are losing as you get older. Of course, lean sources of protein include chicken, beef, fish, seafood. You should be aiming for lean sources of beef. You also can include lentils in your diet. Lentils are high sources of protein as well. So how many carbs should you be eating? You should be eating 0.9 grams of carbs per pound of ideal body weight. I want you to focus on quality carbs. Don't just eat carbs that's just, just to eat them. I want you to focus on the good stuff. So I want you to focus on eating berries. Berries are high in antioxidants. It also has nutrients and other things that's going to reduce the inflammation. The other kind of carbs that you can have are other fruit sources. You want to have sweet potatoes. You want to have oats. You want to have brown rice. Vegetables are going to be a good source of carbs for you. You really should be eating about 130 to 150 grams of carbs if you weigh 160 pounds. Of course, you need plenty of vegetables. Vegetables and fruits are going to give you variety, and it's going to support healthy gut and digestion. You want to have good sources of fruits and vegetables because you want to get the carb benefit, but you also want to get the fiber benefit that's going to help things really move through your intestines. And you need this to support a healthy gut, especially as you get older. Now, you do need to have some fat in your diet. I would recommend 0.4 grams of fat per pound of ideal body weight to really help support the things that you need. Healthy sources of fat include avocado, they include nuts, they include the fat that comes from sources of protein such as salmon, tuna, those kind of things. So you want the healthy fat. You can have olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil is fine. Those are the kind of fats that you should be focused on. Reducing the amount of saturated fats or things from like highly processed, high fat, fried foods. Those are the things that you want to have very minimal of, okay? Your diet is not going to be 100%. No one's diet is 100%, but you should be able to get it right at least 80% of the time, and the other 20%, well, whatever. You just have whatever it is that you are craving at the moment. But make sure you're doing the right thing most of the time, because that's what's going to help you lose the weight and keep the weight off. Again, if you're interested in hearing more about the BossBaddies FitCamp, schedule a call with me. The link will be right in the description of this video. And I hope to see you soon. So if you guys are new to this channel, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe. I go live with a workout on Saturday, and I hope to see you this coming Saturday. Until the next one, I pray for your success in your weight and health journey. Be blessed.